Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the astrology predictions for Saturn in the sign of Aries. Saturn is going to enter the sign of Aries on May 25 of this year, 2025, and it's going to remain here until April of 2028. Of course, Saturn is going to go retrograde in the sign of Pisces. It's going to move forward at some point in the sign of Taurus within this time period, but it's mostly going to remain in the sign of Aries. And here, Saturn is going to perform in a different way than it did in the sign of Pisces. First of all, I feel like a lot of us are going to um, take initiative with a lot of responsibility with Saturn here. Aries is that sign that is the go getter, the initiator that starts things, sometimes even without thinking. That it has so much energy that it just wants to initiate. It has a lot of passion to start something fresh, to start something new, to bring something into existence that maybe has not even been there before. Aries has that profound energy, but Saturn here is going to help a lot of us not only start things, but also follow through so that we can take them to the end, so that we can complete them, so that we can manage through any kind of challenge, any kind of difficulty. And as we do so, we're going to increase our own self confidence. We're going to understand more about ourselves through the challenges that may come our way in the pursuit of completing our own goals, our own dreams, our own passions. And I think under this energy, we're definitely going to understand that we can initiate things, but we can also complete them. It's definitely going to increase our self confidence. And I'm talking about as a collective for all of us. It doesn't matter what area of your chart is, you're definitely going to have a lot more confidence in wherever you have Aries in your chart. And so, in general, we're going to have a lot more self confidence because Aries is the sign of self, and Saturn here with through challenges and sometimes obstacles, but also through structure, discipline, persistence, perseverance is going to make us love ourselves more, learn more about ourselves, and also realize that we can actually accomplish things that maybe we didn't think we could before. During this transit, we're going to probably become more strategic in general as well. Again, let's say if you have had an area of your life where you were a bit more impulsive, with Saturn here, you're probably going to take things slower. And we're probably going to become more strategic in a sense that we're going to know what to do to get to a point, and then what to do after we get on that point, like after that point. So step by step, we're going to be building things. We're going to be creating structures that probably are going to be long lasting for a lot of us because Saturn is the planet of time. And so as we learn how to build structures around the things that we feel an impulse to build, to create, to go after, we're probably going to be rewarded at some point after the hard work that we've put in as well. The other beautiful energy that could be happening with this transit is turning some sort of vision into reality. And if you have been working very hard towards a certain project, creative project, some startup, maybe a workout routine, maybe taking care of your physical body, of your appearance, of your physical health, under this energy, you're probably going to get a lot of rewards. And if this transit can make all of us feel way more powerful, way stronger. But of course, it's going to come with challenges. This is Saturn that we're talking about. But the key to making Saturn work with you is to simply be disciplined and do things in a consistent way. So, whatever you're going to be working towards in the next 2.5 years, um, just make sure that you do it in a consistent way, in a structured way, and then you're going to be fine. Not only you're going to be fine, you're going to thrive probably because Saturn rewards hard work. And that's what we want. We want to be rewarded for the hard work that we put in. And I'm pretty sure all of you, all of us, are probably working very hard towards some certain goal as well. Okay, so now I'm going to start to break down the 12 zodiac signs. Keep in mind that I'm a Western astrologer and I follow tropical zodiac. You can listen to your rising sign if you're lucky enough to know your birth time, and then to your you can listen to your sun sign and your moon sign. If you want to show some support for my work, you can like, subscribe, share this video with people that you think are going to benefit from it. I suggest that you also save this video because this energy is going to be lasting for a long time and it's probably going to be applicable to you for a very long time as well. So maybe it's a good idea to go back to it over and over and to kind of reflect through this transit. Okay, everyone, let's start now with the 12 zodiac signs. Hello, Aries suns, moons, and risings. Welcome to your Saturn in Aries astrology predictions. I'm actually so excited for this upcoming transit for you because, of course, you're going to be one of the most impacted signs here with Saturn exactly in your first house. So, what could this transit bring for you? It's actually going to start, the transit is going to start on May 25 of this year, 2025. And Saturn here is going to remain until April 12th of 2028. It's going to go back and forth. It's going to go back to the sign of Pisces. It's going to go to the sign of Taurus, within this time frame. However, for the most of it, it's going to be in your first house. So I think for a lot of you Aries, you're probably gonna develop a lot of self discipline and maturity here with Saturn in the first house. Saturn here is gonna help you build a very clear understanding of your individuality, of your own personality, and is going to help you set the right boundaries with other people around you. Of course, we're gonna have Neptune here, we have Chiron here as well, and as Saturn is a conjunction to these other planets in the sky, an asteroid, um, it's going to shift the energy here and there. However, this video is only focused on Saturn here in the sign of Aries, which can be a predominant energy for the majority of this transit. So, like I said, for a lot of you, you're probably going to have some sort of redefinition of your own personal identity. You're going to take a more serious look of who you are as a person, who you aim to become, how you want to be seen by other people, and you're going to shed outdated perceptions in a very profound way. Of course, this is not going to happen overnight. It's going to go through cycles. You're going to have certain individuals come your way or opportunities, relationships, authority figures. It's going to manifest in different ways, but eventually you're going to um, have a clearer understanding of your own individuality and personality, and you're going to develop these healthy boundaries with other people that is definitely going to make your life so much easier. A lot of you are going to develop a lot of inner strength. I feel like you Aries, you may have some sort of self reflection when it comes to past wounds, especially related to your identity. Let's say if an Aries person has been suffering from bullying when they were young, then Saturn here is going to help you let go of those past ones that don't serve your current identity or your personality at the moment, and is going to help you develop some sort of very strong boundaries towards your past, very strong boundaries towards individuals that still try to get to you and hurt your personality and your identity. And so, Saturn is going to help you develop this crazy inner strength in profound ways, like you've probably never experienced before. A lot of your Aries might also lose weight physically. You might get more lean, or you might go after these routines that are going to take care of your physical body in a very profound way, in a very disciplined way, structured way. So you might also have improvement when it comes to your own physical health as well with this transit. Now, Saturn rules your 10th house. So a lot of you Aries might have some sort of improvement when it comes to your career sector. You might be working very hard during this transit to gain some status, to become an authority figure in your career, to maybe get a promotion, to be well known from other people, to try to get the spotlight. You're going to continuously work towards this. And for some of you, you're probably going to try to build a personal brand during this transit as well, that again is seen from other people as very reliable eventually. And you can be seen as somebody that is trustworthy, that people can rely on you, especially authority figures, like I said. Now, if you don't have a job, or you don't plan to have it, or to work, but let's say you're retired, then this is going to talk about kind of reinventing your public image. A lot of you Aries are going to um, focus a lot on your image, like how other people see you, the legacy that you want to leave in this lifetime. You're going to have a lot of self reflection regarding literally what you want to be doing on this earth, what you want to leave behind, what is your mission, what is your soul purpose. And as you do so, you're going to build and rebuild certain structures regarding the legacy that you want to leave in this lifetime. You're really going to work towards building a name for yourself, building a legacy for yourself, and you're going to set again the right boundaries, make the right relationships. You're not going to waste time with people that don't serve you during this transit, because Saturn is opposing the seventh house. You're going to focus only on relationships that can be long term for you and that can benefit you when it comes to your career and your public status as well. Okay, Aries, I wish you the best of luck with this transit. We're going to talk about Saturn multiple times for the next, 2 years and a half, 3 years while it lasts here, because you're going to have all these important conjunctions to it, and squares and oppositions and sextiles and trines. All these transits are going to be happening now with Saturn in your first house. I do want to remind you that you can check my video with Saturn and Neptune conjunction in the sign of Aries if you still haven't. I believe I posted that from last year, because there's definitely an energy that's going to be predominant for you as well. I wish you the best of luck, Aries, and I'll see you on the next video. Hello, dear Taurus, suns, moons, and risings. Welcome to your Saturn in Aries astrology predictions. This transit is going to start on May 25. That's when we're going to have Saturn entering your 12th house in the sign of Aries, and it's going to be there until April 12th of 2028. So it's going to spend there a very long time. Of course, it's going to go back into your 11th house in Pisces. It's going to go into your first house in Taurus within this time period, but most of the time it's going to be in the sign of Aries. So, what could this bring for you, Taurus? There's definitely going to be some deep spiritual awakening with Saturn here. Saturn rules your ninth house of your knowledge and higher education, spiritual pursuits, and also organized religion, spirituality in general as well. So, a lot of you are definitely going to have some sort of spiritual awakening here. You're going to discover some things that are just spiritually very strong for you, very beautiful, wonderful. You're going to have a connection with God, with the universe that is stronger, and you're probably going to build a discipline around it as well. Um, I'm a Taurus rising myself, as I've said it many times, but I myself already feel this energy, because I started to meditate before bed in a very consistent way. So I think that's going to be the case for a lot of Taurians, to where we're going to develop some sort of spiritual discipline, whatever it is. For some, it can be meditation, like I said, for some, it can be yoga, it can be going to a temple, praying, doing spiritual pilgrimages, going to temples, reading scripture, prayers. You could be doing whatever is the most suitable for you. But definitely, there's going to be some sort of spiritual discipline here. For other Sagittarians, there might be a sense of releasing karmic patterns that you've had in this lifetime. And with that being said, I feel like a lot of you are going to end an important cycle here, to where you're going to release generational karma, whatever karma that came with you in this lifetime. And if you are not as much aware about your generational karma, I feel like Saturn here is going to bring more awareness to you and more understanding. And so, therefore, you're going to mm, basically release any sort of karma forever with Saturn here. So it could be very profound when it comes to spiritual cleansing. So take advantage of these few years so that you can let go of generational karmas, which, for example, for me, I've worked very hard on releasing that for myself. I've noticed patterns with my grandmothers that came before me. So I've tried to work very hard to let them go. And as you do so, when Saturn enters your first house in the sign of Taurus in 2028, you're going to start a new cycle. And it's the best to leave behind whatever baggages that are not going to serve you well, by the time that Saturn enters your first house. For others of you, you might have increased intuition and inner clarity with Saturn here. So, whatever was confusing to you before, you're probably going to be more aware of your surroundings. You're going to be more aware of your hidden enemies, more aware of your spiritual practices. Others of you are going to be more aware of your long term dreams and goals for the future because Saturn is going to make a conjunction to Neptune. And I already have a video up for that. So, please make sure to listen to that one as well, because it's going to apply for this year for 2025. And not only but a lot of you, like I said, are going to gain more clarity when it comes to your own goals and dreams that you want for the future. Others of you Taurians are going to have this theme of traveling abroad, going into foreign lands, having international travels. Others of you are probably going to be behind the scenes trying to learn a foreign language. And then for others of you, this transit is maybe going to bring relocation to faraway lands. Others of you maybe are going to start a higher educational degree. Maybe you're going to go for a bachelor's degree, master's degree, and therefore it's going to make you a little bit isolated from the rest of the world because you want to pursue, some sort of degree or increase your personal knowledge. Others of you with this transit might just get a little more isolated because of different reasons. It's going to depend on your personal chart, but it could be because, again, you want to study for something, you want to focus on a project, you want to be publishing something as well, and therefore you're going to be a bit more behind the scenes and working harder to achieve this. For others of you, it could be that life circumstances make you go be a little far away from the people that know you. Like a scenario could be relocating somewhere far away, and you're not going to be with the same people that you used to be before. So you're in that sense, you're a bit more isolated from the rest of the world. For others of you, it could be because you're having a baby, that you're going to be behind the scenes, like at home, kind of isolated from the rest of the world. So it can depend on your own chart and different life circumstances, but there could be some sort of isolation. And it doesn't have to be like a bad one, like I'm saying. I feel like it's more on the positive side because Saturn rules a positive house for you, the ninth house. So basically, take advantage of this energy, especially if you want to do projects behind the scenes. This is what I have for you, dear Taurus. I wish you the best of luck. Let me know down in the comments below. What do you expect from this transit? And how was Saturn in the sign of Pisces for you? I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that would love to share their knowledge with you as well. Okay, I wish you the best of luck and I'll see you on the next video. Hello, dear Gemini suns, moons, and risings. Welcome to your Saturn in Aries astrology predictions. So Saturn is going to enter the sign of Aries on May 25 of 2025 and it's going to remain here for the next 3 years, 2 years and a half. But it's going to go back and forth to the sign of Pisces and in Taurus. Between this time frame. However, it's mostly going to remain in the sign of Aries until April 12th of 2028. So this is transiting your 11th house, dear Geminis. And Saturn here is going to have you do a lot of revision when it comes to your social circles. A lot of you Geminis are going to leave behind friendships, groups of people that don't serve your long-term goals anymore. If you've had any toxic friendships, you're definitely going to leave them behind. If you've had any friendships that don't align with your soul progress in this lifetime, they're gonna be left behind. And in the same at the same time, you're going to become friends with individuals that are more mature in nature, that bring more stability to your life. They could be like a mentor to you, advisors to you, or it could be individuals that are older in age or individuals that basically help you realign with your long term dreams and goals for the future. For others of you, dear Geminis, there's probably going to be some increased responsibility in group settings. In whatever group that you're in, let's say you're in organized religion, groups, you're definitely going to have some sort of leadership position there, more responsibilities for you there. If you work in a organized company, like an organization, then you're probably going to have more leadership opportunities there, more responsibilities as well. You're going to be seen as an authority figure, or with time, you're going to work very hard to become an authority figure as well. With this transit here, you're going to get more clarification of your own long term dreams and goals for the future. Let's say you've had certain plans for yourself in the past, and maybe it was just as a dream. Now, with Saturn here, you're going to work very hard to make that dream a reality, to turn it into something that you want to be doing. In the long run for you, you're going to build something very important, very big for yourselves. Some of you are going to work towards like I said, a leadership opportunity, others of you towards a business, others of you, you're going to work very hard towards retirement. Anything that it is long term for you, you're going to work very hard on. And as you know, I'm a Taurus rising, so I'm coming out of this transit. And let me tell you, I've worked so hard in all areas of my life, to be honest, but I also have other transits going on. I have my Saturn return here. So that's another reason why it's been so heavy on me. But for you, you know, you're going to be working hard towards your long-term dreams and goals for the future. And I think that's so beautiful. You're going to build something wonderful for yourself, that is going to manifest and is going to be rewarding for you in the long run. For others of you, you're probably going to get more involved in your community here with Saturn. You're going to get closer to your neighbors, to individuals that live close to you, to whoever you go to buy your groceries, to your closer community, maybe to older siblings as well. You're going to build some important relationship here too. It is important to note that Saturn rules your eighth house. So, for some of you Geminis, you're going to use shared resources and finances maybe towards some long-term dream and goal for the future. You're going to be using your investments maybe to increase your network, to build a foundation in your social circles as well. And then for others of you, you're probably going to leave behind the shadow side of your psychological mind, your fears and self-sabotaging patterns, so that you can realign yourselves more in the long-term dreams and goals and the vision that you have for yourself for the future. Okay, Geminis, this is what I have for you. I wish you the best of luck with this transit. Make sure to listen to the Saturn and Neptune conjunction video, because that is a very important energy that is coming up as well for you. And other than that, I'll see you in the next video. Hello, Cancer suns, moons, and risings. Welcome to your Saturn in Aries astrology predictions. Saturn is going to enter the sign of Aries on May 25, and it's going to remain here until April 12th of 2028. Saturn is going to go back to the sign of Pisces. It's going to move into Taurus between this time frame. However, it's mostly going to be in your Aries, in your 10th sign, in the 10th house, sorry, for a while. I had a brain freeze for a long time. So, what could Saturn bring for you in the 10th house from May 25? A lot of you cancers are going to have clarification when it comes to your career goals. Saturn here is going to have you put in the hard work that you need so that you can earn some sort of status that is going to be long lasting for you, and it's going to accompany you for the rest of your life. Even if you at some point change your career, like later on, 5 years later or something, whatever you are working hard towards during this Saturn in the 10th house, career wise, is going to remain there for you. Your reputation is going to follow you. Like, that's the embodiment of this sentence right there, for this energy. Your reputation is going to follow you for a very long time. Now, for others of you, with Saturn here, you're probably going to gain some sort of leadership position. You're going to get the spotlight multiple times. You're going to be given more responsibilities at your work, at your job. You're going to be seen as an authority figure multiple times, over and over, during this long transit of Saturn in the 10th house. I myself am a Taurus rising, so I've been through this transit already, and I remember how it was for me. I worked in some very reputable companies during this transit. And because I had that in my resume, it was very easy for me to continue to get good jobs in other companies in the future during my entire life since then. So that's why I say during this transit, I feel like a lot of you, whatever you work very hard on, it's going to remain for you. Like you're going to be rewarded for the rest of your life for the hard work that you're going to put in with Saturn in the 10th house. For others of you, you're probably going to have some sort of alignment with your life purpose here. The 10th house is not only our career, it is what we leave behind in this world. It is our legacy, what we want to be known for. So you're going to definitely gain some sort of authority here, meaning that whatever you do, it's going to be very public for the rest of the world. That's how people are going to remember you for the next few years with Saturn here. Let's say that you are a chef, you have a restaurant, and that's what you do during this time. Whoever meets you and whoever is going to meet you after, they're always going to know that at some point of life in life you were a chef in a cuisine, or they know that you're a cook very well. And they're going to know that in, like I said, in next 5 years, 10 years, 12 years, 20 years, it's always going to remain there for you. Whatever you build as a legacy with Saturn in the 10th house is always going to accompany you. Now, Saturn also rules your seventh house. So, for some of you, there's going to be um, or better said, your relationships are going to take a very important role here. You might find a business partner to open a business. It could be that somebody helps you to progress in your career, somebody helps you to gain some sort of reputation, somebody helps you with your public status. There is somebody that could be helping a lot of you cancers, and it could be somebody that is authoritative, or somebody that is well established in life, or maybe somebody that is older than you, or somebody that is an authority figure that is going to help you in your career, in your public status, and how you're known into the world. This is what I have for you, Pisces, for this transit. I really hope it's wonderful for you. Let us know in the comments below, what do you expect from this transit? And other than that, I'll see you on the next video, and I wish you the best of luck. Hello, dear Leo suns, moons, and risings. Welcome to your Saturn in Aries astrology predictions. Aries is entering the sign, or sorry, Saturn is entering the sign of Aries on May 25 of this year, 2025, and it's going to remain there until April 12 of 2028. Of course, it's going to go back and forth into the sign of Pisces, back and forth into the sign of Taurus within this time frame, but it's mostly going to be in the sign of Aries, and that is going to mean for a lot of you Leos, that you're going to focus a lot on your own personal beliefs and philosophies. With Saturn here, you're going to destroy basically old structures of your belief system, of your religious beliefs as well. If you felt restricted by them, you're going to remove them, and you're going to build new philosophies for yourself. And this can be about life in general, this can be any kind of knowledge that you accumulate, this can be any kind of area of your life that you are an expert on, a professional on, that you can even teach other people on. So you're going to solidify your knowledge, and you're going to leave behind any outdated beliefs, knowledges that don't serve you anymore with Saturn here. For a lot of you Leos, you're probably going to focus a lot on higher education. You're going to have the right maturity and the discipline that you need to maybe pursue a higher education degree, a bachelor's degree, master's degree, anything that is long lasting, like that lasts for a few years, can be achieved under this energy. So if you've always wanted to, get some type of degree, you can definitely achieve it with this type of energy here. For others of you, you're probably going to have a very purposeful travel experiences, meaning that if you are for traveling, if you're going to travel internationally, you're going to do it for a purpose. You're going to do it so that you can get something out of it, instead of simply vacationing or having fun. You're actually going to have a purpose for whatever, um, kind of travel you're going to be having with Saturn here. Others of you, you're going to become authority figures in whatever area of your life you're an expert in. Like I said, you're going to be seen as a mentor. You're going to be seen as somebody with a lot of knowledge, somebody that has a lot of maturity with Saturn here, and you're going to probably share your knowledge and experience with other people. You're going to Be seen as a leader when it comes to whatever areas of your life that you are an expert on, like I said. You're probably going to be very ethical here as well, Leos. You're going to have some sort of moral responsibility, and you're going to be very down to earth when it comes to um, following any kind of ethics, being honest, being truthful in all your dealings that you do with other people, in all of your interactions. You're going to be a person that other people are going to look up to, and you're probably going to be very honest as well during this time. And even, it's going to come natural to you. It's not that you're going to force it, it's just going to come natural to you. It's going to be the right thing to do basically during this transit. um Okay, and this is what I have for you, Leos, for Saturn in the sign of Aries. I wish you the best of luck. Let us know in the comments below, what do you expect from this? And other than that, I'll see you on the next one, and I wish you the best of luck. Hello, dear Virgo suns, moons, and risings. Welcome to Saturn in Aries astrology predictions. Saturn is going to enter the sign of Aries on May 25 of this year, 2025, and it's going to remain here until April 12th of 2028. Of course, Saturn is going to go back into the sign of Pisces. It's going to move forward into the sign of Taurus within this time frame, but it's going to be mostly in the sign of Aries. And it's going to bring some profound changes in your eighth house. This is where Saturn is transiting for you. So let's start talking about your financial management with Saturn here. It's definitely going to bring a lot of strategy, discipline, and um, intelligence that you are going to be practicing in the next few years with Saturn in the eighth house. Whatever shared resources that you have with a family member, with a partner, with a business partner, with a marriage partner, with your siblings, anyone that you share your resources with, you're probably going to build a structure around it that it might even have you be very mindful of how much money is being spent, how much money is being put in. You're going to become financially more aware during this transit. And for others of you, you're probably going to build very strong structures around your investments. If you have investments, into making money and building money around them as well. And you're going to reassess your entire strategies regarding finances here, because yes, Saturn is transiting your eighth house, but it's also aspecting your second house of your own money making abilities. For others of you, you're probably going to deepen your relationships with intimacy. So if you are, in a long term relationship, or if you're going to be in a relationship during this time, or multiple relationships, then with Saturn here, some of you are going to withhold yourselves from intimacy, and you're definitely going to give it only to the people that are worthy of it. So you're going to have more self control when it comes to sexuality, when it comes to intimacy here with Saturn. And again, like I said, you're going to be very disciplined to withhold yourself from not involving into, or not getting into too intimate with people that you don't think are going to be there for you for the long run. I feel like that's the best way to describe this energy. For others of you, you're probably going to explore some occult sciences, astrology, hidden knowledge. You're probably going to build relationships with people that are interested in these things as well during this transit. You're going to have definitely a lot of transformation when it comes to your own personal identity. Some of you are going to dive deep into your own subconscious mind, your fears and self sabotaging patterns, and eventually you're going to build some boundaries when it comes to it. You're going to build some sort of separation from anything that doesn't serve you psychologically, and in your inner mind, in your inner perception about life, in your fears and insecurities that you have as well. So, with Saturn here, you're going to go through ups and downs as you build this. But after Saturn is done with this sign, you're definitely going to come out very strong psychologically, mentally, and you're going to be untouchable, I would say, regarding all your fears and self-sabotaging patterns. And I'm a Taurus rising myself, so I've been through this transit. I remember how it was when it was there, and I definitely dived very deep into my subconscious mind, and I became very strong. Like, my affirmations were set in place. I would practice them all the time. I became very disciplined when it comes to removing any self-sabotaging fears in my mind from my mind. So some of you might definitely be doing that as well. Okay, this is what I have for you, dear Virgos. You're definitely also going to become emotionally stronger and more resilient with Saturn here. It's not that like something crazy is going to happen, it's just that with time, you're going to develop that emotional strength. Saturn is definitely helping you to have that clarity when it comes to your own emotions. Okay, I'm going to let you go now. I wish you the best of luck for this transit, and I'll see you on the next video. Hello, Libra suns, moons, and risings. Welcome to your Saturn in Aries astrology predictions. So Saturn is going to enter the sign of Aries this month, May 24 of 2025, and it's going to remain here until April of 2028. So it's going to stay in the sign for a long time. Of course, it's going to go back and forth between Aries and Pisces, and then Aries and Taurus, but most of the time, Saturn is going to remain in your seventh house in the sign of Aries. And of course, this makes you one of the most impacted signs, Libras, just because this is transiting your seventh house and it's aspecting you, your first house, your fourth house, and the 10th as well. So, what could you expect during this transit? I feel like a lot of you Libras might become more serious when it comes to your relationships with other people. And this can be your marriage partnership, this can be your long term romantic relationship, this can also be your business partnerships as well. If you are in a marriage, if you are romantically involved, then Saturn here is probably going to help you create some healthy boundaries that can make your relationship long lasting. If you've been in a relationship that is not working anymore, in a marriage that is not working anymore, where you feel like your boundaries have been overstepped, or the other way around, if your partner feels like that towards you, Saturn here is going to maybe bring some sort of separation, meaning that, Saturn it is still the planet of karma. And so it's going to bring the karma back into your relationships. Meaning that if you've been honest, if you've been working very hard in your relationship, and it's something that should still remain in your life, then Saturn here is just going to solidify the relationship that you have with the other individual. It's going to make the marriage, the romantic involvement even stronger. You're going to understand each other more. You're going to understand each other at the soul level. You're going to feel like you belong with each other for time and eternity with Saturn here. Now, the opposite could also happen, like I said, if you've been in a relationship or a marriage that has been overstepping your boundaries, then Saturn here is going to bring the blessing in disguise of having some sort of separation and letting go of some sort of relationship that is not serving your soul purpose anymore. The same thing kind of is related to your business relationships, your relationships with authority figures at work. If you have been diligent in your work, at your job, if you have one, of course, then Saturn here is going to reward you, meaning that maybe authority figures are going to come to your help. They're going to help you to strengthen the relationships that you have with them, but also to receive some sort of acknowledgement, to receive, to become more known into your network that you have with other people in your industry, and um, to solidify your presence in your career, in your public status, in whatever industry that you are some sort of authority figure in. For others of you, you might have some sort of home topics brought up during this transit because Saturn rules your fourth house, Libras. And you're maybe going to have to share the responsibilities that you have at home with a partner. If you live with somebody, it can be a marriage partner, it can be a roommate, it can be a family member, whoever you live with. um, you're going to probably have to think about the relationship, the responsibilities that you share at home, and become more serious about it. Set some rules, some structure around your home routine. And for some of you, you might even move into a house, into a new place during this transit that is going to have you come together with a romantic partner or a marriage partner. For others of you, you might relocate, like I said, and you might be doing so with another individual as well. Saturn here can help you set these contracts, set some agreements that are going to be long lasting, because Saturn is the planet of time. And so, for some of you, whatever contract you're going to be entering for the next few years is probably going to be there for you for a very long time. And this can be any kind of contract. This can be like a mortgage, it could be a rental contract, it can be a new job contract, new responsibilities at work, um, any kind of contract that you put your signature on, that you write things on. Saturn can make that contract long lasting, here in the seventh house. Some of your Libras might even lose weight during this transit, because Saturn is aspecting your physical body, your first house. Or you might become more serious, more disciplined when it comes to taking care of your looks, taking care of your physical body. Um, and then you might also have a change of like your wardrobe, like your closet. Maybe put on more professional clothing on, or clothes that make you look more serious, more confident, and things like that. Of course, this is not going to be happening overnight, but with time, Saturn here is going to give you a stronger self sense of identity and personality as well. I feel like Saturn is going to teach you lessons around relationships, more importantly, which of course are so important for you Libras because you are the sign that rules the relationships. But at the same time, I think you're going to become wiser and smarter when it comes to the way how you build those long-lasting relationships. If before some of you have been maybe more flaky, or um, more superficial, Saturn here is going to teach you how to build long lasting relationships that are going to remain with you for a very long time, for a very, very, very long time. So, what I love about this transit is exactly that you can create some sort of relationship, or you can solidify your marriage, your romantic relationship, in a way that is going to be memorable for you and is going to last for a long time. You can have conversations, situations that are going to bring you heart to heart with the other person, and um, you can feel like you belong together. You're meant to be with this other individual, and at the same time, you're going to learn those lessons about your own individuality as well. This is what I have for you, dear Libras. I wish you the best of luck during this transit, and I'll see you on the next video. Hello, Scorpio suns, moons, and risings. Welcome to your predictions for Saturn in the sign of Aries. Saturn is going to enter the sign on May 25 of 2025 and is going to remain here until April of 2028. So, for a very long time, Saturn is going to be transiting your sixth house. Now, of course, this planet is going to go back to the sign of Pisces, and then it's going to go forward into the sign of Taurus between this time frame. However, most of the time is going to remain in the sign of Aries, until again April 2028. I feel like for a lot of you Scorpio, Saturn here is going to bring a lot of responsibilities your way. Meaning that if you had certain duties, let's say at your job, at your work, then Saturn is going to multiply them, is going to maybe test you a little bit, but at the same time is going to reward you for the hard work that you put in regarding your work responsibilities. For others of you, it could be that maybe you're going to gain some sort of authority at your work, at your job. Maybe you're going to take on again more responsibilities. You're going to be seen as an authority figure here. And if you've been working very hard towards a certain status or a certain a certain authority at work, you Saturn might reward you for that. It might give you the fruits of your labor here in the sixth house. For others of you, Saturn can indicate that you're going to have to create some sort of discipline in your health routine, in the way how you take care of your body, of your physical health, of your physical body. I have to say this, for some of you, you might become so disciplined and remove some sort of addiction, especially regarding food, that is going to probably benefit your physical health in the long run. Now, of course, as Saturn enters here, maybe it might bring some challenges in the physical body, but eventually it's going to teach you to take care of it, to take the right measures, and to be disciplined. So that you can earn the rewards of working hard, quote unquote, on taking care of your health, eating the right foods, working out in a consistent way, building some sort of structure regarding taking care of your health, taking care of your body, taking care of your mental health as well, because Saturn is still aspect in the 12th house. For others of you, you're probably going to also take care of your hygiene, put on consistent efforts on taking care of your health. You're gonna focus a lot on your wellness. Maybe you're going to build structures around your lifestyle. You're gonna put yourself on a schedule. Let's say working out from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., going on a walk 7 a.m. to 7:30, and then working from this time to that time, socializing from this time to that time. So basically, creating a daily schedule that you're going to be following um, in the next, few years. Saturn is going to help you build that discipline and that mental strength that you need so that you can be consistent and gain the rewards of your hard work during this time. If you are in the industry of being a nurse, a doctor, nanny, any kind of service industry, if you're a housekeeper, gardener, accountant, analyst, if you work in the armed forces, police, any of those industries, then you're probably going to gain some recognition with Saturn here. You're going to be known more for your hard work, for your knowledge. You're going to be seen as an authority figure. Some of you are going to climb the ladder as well, if you are, again, in any of these industries. I would also invite you, Scorpios, to take care of your health, and specifically to the stomach and intestines um, during this transit. I feel like a lot of you are going to develop a lot of discipline here, and you might also become of service to other people, especially of the ones that are less fortunate. You're going to maybe do something good and nice to them, and if you do so, I feel like it's going to come back to you, because Saturn is a planet of karma, and it's going to bring back to you whatever you put out there for other people. This is what I have for you, dear Scorpios, during this transit. I wish you the best of luck, and I'll see you on the next video. Hello, Sagittarius, suns, moons, and risings. Welcome to your predictions for the transit of Saturn in the sign of Aries. Saturn enters the sign of Aries on May 25 of 2025 and is going to remain here until April of 2028. Of course, Saturn is going to go retrograde into the sign of Pisces. It's going to move forward into the sign of Taurus during this time frame. However, most of the time it's going to remain in the sign of Aries. And for you, this is in your fifth house. I feel like for a lot of you, Sagittarians, you're going to become more disciplined when it comes to your creativity. If you've been wanting to open a business, if you've been wanting to make money through your artistic and creative skills and abilities, you're probably going to build the right discipline during this transit, the right discipline that you need so that you can monetize whatever creative skills that you have. You're probably going to put yourself on a schedule. You're going to become more serious, more mature about your personal skills and how you can increase your personal income when it comes to it. You might feel like things are moving a bit slower at first. However, with with the help, quote unquote, of Saturn, you're going to understand the right steps that you need to be taking so that you can earn some sort of reward for the hard work that you put in all of your creative skills and your creative abilities, and also in your personal business if you have one, or if you're going to end up opening a business during this transit. If you have children, you're probably going to have some sort of parenting duties and discipline that you're going to be practicing during this transit. It could be that something could be happening in the life of one of your children that requires your presence even more in their lives. Let's say that they are going to, maybe they're teenagers, or they're going to school, or they have certain challenges going on with them. With Saturn here, you're going to become more present, going to become more mature, and more disciplined in taking care of your children, but at the same time that's going to come with more dedication, with more time that you need to put towards them, so that you can have some sort of solidified relationship with your children, and also you can gain the rewards that Saturn promises after the hard work that you're going to be putting in your relationship with your children. Saturn in the fifth house might also delay for some of you having children. So, if you're not planning to have a child, that is good news. Whereas for others of you, it could be that maybe you might not feel as ready yet to grow your family, to have more children during this transit. Now, the fifth house is also the house of romance. So, with Saturn here, I feel like a lot of you are going to become more attracted to individuals that are more mature in nature, that are more down to earth, that are more set in life, and that bring some sort of stability to you, some sort of feeling of being down to earth. So you might take dating a bit more seriously. If you used to go in too many dates before, with Saturn here, maybe you're going to classify the individuals that you go out with. If you used to go clubbing a lot, let's say, with Saturn here, maybe you're going to just drink a glass of wine with somebody that you are romantically involved with. You're going to take your dating more seriously, definitely, with Saturn in the fifth house. And then, if you are already in a relationship, then Saturn is going to have you understand and uh, come to uh, come to a very strong um, understanding if this relationship if this relationship should go to the next level. So if you've been dating somebody for a while, if you've been boyfriend and girlfriend, Saturn here is going to make you understand whether you want to be with this person in the long run, whether you want to take this relationship from the fifth house to the seventh house, which is a long lasting relationship, a marriage, a relationship that turns more serious, that becomes more official as well. And then lastly, I feel like with this transit, a lot of your Sagittarians are going to focus a lot on your friendships as well, meaning that maybe you're going to become more serious when it comes to the time that you spend with them, when it comes to your own schedule, and to the things that you do together. Like I mentioned earlier, if you've been um, more casual before when it comes to the way how you have fun with your friends, with your acquaintances. With Saturn here, maybe you're going to become more picky. You're going to become more mature in your groups of friendships. Maybe you're going to remain with people that are going to stay there for you for the long run. And you're going to classify who is more mature and who can bring more stability to your life. You're going to become basically a bit more mature regarding your groups of friends. This is what I have for you, Sagittarians, for this transit. I wish you the best of luck, and I will see you on the next video. Hello, Capricorn suns, moons, and risings. Welcome to Saturn in Aries astrology predictions. Saturn is going to enter the sign of Aries on May 25 of 2025 and is going to remain here until April of 2028. Of course, Saturn is going to go retrograde into the sign of Pisces. It's going to move forward into the sign of Taurus within this time frame until 2028. However, it's mostly going to remain in the sign of Aries. And this for you is your fourth house. I feel like a lot of you Capricorns are going to experience more responsibilities um, related to your family dynamics. For a lot of you, you might need to take care of your parents, you might need to take care of your children, of your home, of your spouse. You might need to handle property matters, real estate matters, and you might basically restructure your entire living situation. For some of you Capricorns, you might also relocate under this transit. And as you decide to relocate, the beginning of the transit might be a little bit challenging. However, it's going to be more rewarding in the long run. Saturn is going to help you build the right stability that you need, the right discipline, and the right structure regarding your real estate, your home, your relocation matters. For some of you, you might feel emotionally more mature. You might have some sort of detachment from your emotions during this transit, which is going to probably help you take the right decisions at the mental level with a logical mind, very level headed. And that means that you're going to have that mental clarity to make decisions regarding your home environment, regarding your career, your public status, your reputation, regarding your long-term relationship, your marriage as well. Saturn is aspecting all your life themes from the fourth house, and Saturn is also your chart ruler. So that's why it makes you one of the most impacted signs, of course, dear Capricorns. If you feel a little bit emotionally isolated during this transit, just remember to exercise discipline. That's what Saturn eventually wants us to learn. If you want to work with Saturn, you have to develop discipline and structure. And of course, Capricorns, you are one of the signs that understands this the most. However, just keep in mind um, to know that you're going through a transit that is going to make you feel a little bit emotionally detached and sometimes a bit isolated. But as you become disciplined into still expressing affection to your family members, still taking care of your home, of your children, of your parents, of your real estate, still trying to care about the most important things in your life, then Saturn, of course, is going to help you build the right boundaries, but also gain the rewards that you need regarding all of these things that I mentioned. So, Saturn basically wants you to build a kind of discipline, emotional discipline into setting the right boundaries, having other people respect you, but that you also respect other people as well. You might also have better said, make some sort of renovations at home. You might restructure your idea of family. Let's say if you've lived with your spouse for a very long time, maybe you're going to have one of your parents move with you, or the other way around. If you've lived with in laws, if you've lived with your parents, maybe during this transit, you're going to restructure that and, make some new rules regarding your real estate and home environment as well. Some of you might also go to or move into a place that is a smaller house, smaller apartment, kind of downsize a little bit, and it might not be because you can't afford it. It might just feel the right thing to do. This is like the minimalist lifestyle here. A lot of you Capricorns are going to choose to have that during this transit. Um, You expect some changes in your career as well. Some of you are going to be called into higher responsibilities. Some of you are going to become authority figures during this transit, and some of you are going to relocate because of work, because of your job, because of your career, your public status as well. Some of you might even relocate because your partner or your business partner has something going on in their life, and therefore you have to relocate to be with them, to collaborate with them as well. This is what I have for you, dear Capricorns, for this transit. I wish you the best of luck, and I'll see you on the next video. Hello, Aquarius, Suns, Moons, and Risings. Welcome to your Saturn in Aries astrology predictions. So, Saturn for you is transiting your third house. It's going to enter over there on May 25 of 2025, and it's going to be transiting this house for you until April of 2028. Of course, Saturn is going to go back into the sign of Pisces, and it's also going to move forward into the sign of Taurus within this time frame. But overall, Saturn is mostly going to be in the sign of Aries. So, what could this indicate for you, Aquarians? Saturn here might make you more serious and more mature when it comes to your educational pursuits. A lot of you are going to go after mastering some sort of skill set, learning in a disciplined way, in a structured way, maybe implementing in your schedule um, the dedication to mastering certain skill. And let's say if you've been wanting to learn a new language, you may very well do it under this energy. For others of you, this transit can indicate having the opportunity to relocate into a place that maybe you don't know as many people. And so Saturn here can make you feel a little isolated in that sense. However, eventually, as you move, as some of you move into a new community, you're probably going to build relationships with the people in your community slowly, but that are probably going to be long lasting. These are relationships that are going to be there for the long run because the Saturn is a planet of time and it's going to help you build those relationships over time as well. For others of you, this transit can indicate becoming more consistent with your short distance traveling. um, if you before have been more spontaneous about going to a city nearby, then maybe under this transit you're going to plan things ahead, become more disciplined and more structured when it comes to short distance traveling. The I would say the challenging part of this transit is that the third house is our thinking process, and Saturn here can make you a little pessimistic. However, I have the solution for you, and I think maybe implementing in a structured and disciplined way, working on your mental state, your subconscious mind, maybe through affirmations, maybe through journaling in a consistent and continuous way, it's probably going to bring your rewards in your thinking process. Let's say that if some of you feel pessimistic about maybe your self image, then in your journaling, you can write those affirmations about the things that you love about yourself. For example, I love my eyes, I love my hair, I love my funny personality, I love my sensitivity, things like that. And as you do as you do that in a consistent way, Saturn is going to give you a stronger mental capacity to handle honestly anything, first of all. And secondly, it's going to teach you that you actually have a choice to be happy. Happiness does not come from the outside. Happiness comes from your consistent efforts, daily efforts that you can do to make yourself happy. And of course, here in the third house is going to do that through your thinking process. So be very mindful of your thoughts. Be mindful of the information that you absorb from the internet, from the things that you read, from the people that you hang out with. Become aware of these things, um, so that you can make the right choices of what you want to keep in your life, especially when it comes to information. And of course, Saturn is also going to help a lot of you Aquarians to be able to do that as well. Um, what else do I have here? I feel like your relationships with your siblings are going to go through some changes under this transit as well. Um, some of you might become more, I wouldn't say detached, but I would say more emotionally wiser with your siblings if you have younger siblings specifically under this transit. And eventually you're going to deepen your relationship with them. Maybe you're going to understand the karma, quote unquote, that you have with your siblings as well. And you're going to become more accepting of it. And you might come out with a more profound and stronger bond after this transit is over with them too. Okay, this is what I have for you, dear Aquarius. I wish you the best of luck under this transit, and I'm gonna see you on the next video. Hello, Pisces, Suns, Moons, and Risings. Welcome to your Saturn in Aries astrology predictions. Saturn is going to enter the sign of Aries on May 25 of 2025, and it's going to remain here until April of 2028. For you, this transit is happening in your second house of your personal finances. So I feel like a lot of you Pisces, you're probably going to, first of all, feel like a burden is lifted off your shoulders because the presence of Saturn in your first house, in your sign, probably made you feel like there's so many responsibilities, so many things to do. You probably became more busy, you probably had to juggle between a lot of things, and Saturn can make you feel that heaviness when it is in your sign. So now that it's moving away from it, you're going to feel more lighthearted. Definitely, that's one of the things that you're going to feel, and you are, all Pisces are going to feel this. Now, in the second house, Saturn is probably going to teach a lot of you Pisces to become more disciplined with your finances. There are probably going to be situations, people, circumstances outside of you that are going to make you become more structured, more disciplined, and more down to earth when it comes to your money making abilities, when it comes to your personal resources, your spending habits, your bank accounts. Your material desires, your financial security, personal resources, liquid assets that you have, and also your budgeting style, um, all of that. You're going to gain so much knowledge when it comes to your own finances, and it's going to help us through a lot of discipline and by being very realistic and down to earth when it comes to your finances. Um, Pisces is one of the signs that is very dreamy, meaning that you can set these wonderful goals. Where you want to be financially. And with Aries in the second house, a lot of you take action into that. That's one of the reasons why Pisces are so creative, and they're known to be creative because they do take action on the things that they value. So now here with Saturn in the second house, you're probably going to be taking action towards financial abundance, but you're going to be doing it in a disciplined way. Of course, in the beginning, the transit might feel a little unfamiliar. So, there maybe you're not as familiar with these things yet, but with certain circumstances and situations and people, like I said, Saturn is going to help you, Pisces, learn how to become a master in your own finances eventually. The other thing that is very important with this transit is learning your own self worth and self value. A lot of you Pisces maybe are going to remove from your lives friends, acquaintances, people that know you that don't value as much, and you're going to keep a circle of people that appreciate you, that have the same standards as you do, the same values as you do as well. You're going to reevaluate your own personal values as well. So let's say if in the past you had a certain standard about your house, you wanted a certain um, quality associated with it, then under this transit, you're going to reevaluate that. Maybe you're going to raise your standards. Maybe you're going to ask for more when it comes to your house. Let's say that's just an example, but it can be about anything that you find valuable. Any value of yours, you're going to. Um, you're going to change them, understand them better. You're going to understand yourself better as well. The other thing that might be happening under this transit is becoming more grounded in general, and that goes with your sense of values and your self-worth as well. So you're probably going to notice the talents that you have about yourself with this transit. You're probably going to want to monetize them as well. But some of you are just going to become more expressive, more proud, quote unquote, of the values and the personal talents that you have. If you have a talent that maybe you weren't as proud of before, due to, I don't know, traditional reasons and things like that, now you're going to embrace it under this transit. Let me give you an example. If your one of your talents is belly dancing, and that is frowned upon in your culture, let's say in the country that you live in, under this transit, you're going to embrace that skill that you have and realize that you were born with this talent for one reason, and you're going to even use that talent to increase your own self confidence, to dance a bit more, let's say, to express it, to dance with people that know you, to dance in front of other people that know you, family members, friends, and things like that. That's just a small example, but I'm saying that you're going to embrace all the talents that you possess under this transit. Some of you are going to maybe start being on a diet, because Saturn here in the second house can make you more careful about what you eat, what you put in your mouth. So I guess keep in mind that as well. It might be a good transit if you want to lose weight, if your goal is to lose weight as well. Okay, this is what I have for you, dear Pisces. I wish you the best of luck under this transit, and I'll see you on the next video.